What type of ad was it, 13? I'm curious. I guess I'll tell other people. I guess. Gaming? Wait, what do you mean think? Eh? It's not a very good ad if you don't know what they were advertising. I zoned out for a second. All I saw was, like, you know, the X and O square and Y controller button at the very end. Okay, that's fair, that's fair. Shall we chat a bit while we wait for other people? Or should I just hop right in? I honestly don't know what to do. I am Eepy. But yeah, 13, how are ya? Fair enough, fair enough. Ooh, glad to hear that you're doing well. Anything interesting happening in life? Anything to look forward to? Ooh, gallery. Ooh, you're looking forward to this weekend? Let's go. Wait, these are two different CGs? Oh, okay, yeah, they are. Cats! Wait, the musical cats or like actual cats? Oh, she does turn around. Okay. These will make actually cool live backgrounds now that I think about it. Oh, that's all just chapter 1? Dang, okay. Okay, I see. Memory fragments? Oh yeah, depending on which route you're on, you actually get, backstory on the Ghosty Goo, which I haven't been getting. And then miscellaneous. Ooh. I shall continue now. This is because of that thing, isn't it? I did this somehow. When it fades, all that's left in the air is her doubt and fear, where all we can do is cope. Is there something we can say to make her feel better? We can still fix this, guys. With the power of friendship, we'll survive.
It ain't too late. We could still fix this. There's 3 of us here.
3 against 1. Let's go.
4 if you count Rebecca.
4 against 1. Let's go.
No, she's...
Wait, no.
She's staying away from this.
Oh, okay. Oh, I thought she died. She lifts her gaze at me, eyes steady and shoulders squared as she holds it against the baffled look I give her. Although, in a second, it immediately softens, and it takes me by surprise, nevertheless. In those brief moments, it's like I faced a different person.
I don't want to involve her in this any more than I already have. Both of you as well.
I already said it. That's completely out of the question. Stop asking.
Butt out, Ash.
Still in all, that's 2 extra heads who can do the thinking. Between us 3, I'm sure we'll figure something out pretty soon.
I hope Isabella doesn't do something stupid, like run off on her own.
Don't make this whole thing sound like it's a piece of cake to deal with.
It ain't. But better than sitting around, yeah? Plan is still a plan.
You're going to shoot yourself in the foot one day with that kind of thinking. We don't even know who's doing this. The last 2 murders might just be similar incidents done by 2 different suspects.
Okay, so Ash is thinking it might be a copycat killer. Or at least is not ruling it out.
Hasn't stopped you from going after them before. Remember that time when you...
Okay, stop right there. There will be no retelling of that incident today, Z-Man. Or ever.
Keep calling me Z-Man and maybe I will.
Suddenly, Isabella laughs. Though muffled by her hands, it rings light and easy against the thick tension in the room. Meow! Meow, 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 meow! Hello, Ski! I hope you're doing well. Yes, yes, yes. Still a far cry from the usual cheer that she carries, but brings a welcome shift in the otherwise dreary mood.
Thanks, you two.
Ah, glad to hear that you're doing good. Yes, yes, yes.
I'll tell you about it when he's not around.
Yes! Thank you, Zachary! Give me more dirt on Ash. I wish to make fun of him.
Give it up, Z-Man. She's not interested.
I am!
Who says I'm not?
Ash makes a face, but chuckles at the jest despite himself.
Why am I even friends with you two?
I don't know. And like this, most of our worries ebb away, if only for a few moments. But yeah, Ski, I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day. They take their leave mere minutes close to sundown. But regardless of the lighter mood, little has been said of their plans. Only vague hints of what they're aiming to do after. While it ain't any of my business to know, something about this whole thing still gnaws at me. A tiny passing thought urges me to do something as well. At this hour, the streets are once again busy with people, heading home after a hard day's work. Little of the bustle matters to them as they step out of the crowded walkway, however. Ash especially. There's only his goal in mind, and I'd wager there's nothing I can do to stop him at this point. He's probably decided on it long before they made the decision to drop by. But despite this, Isabella lags behind. A worried crease is back on her forehead as she watches Ash leave to get his car.
Something wrong, Bella?
No, actually...
What's wrong?
Can you check on Becca for me after this? I really didn't get the chance to tell her where I'm headed off to.
Sup, Phantom? How's it going? I really do think we should name the ghosts. Then again, I don't mind calling her Miss Ghosty. Or Madam Ghost. My second favorite streamer. Is the first one my wife Cappy? If so, that's based. I highly respect that.
Tell her I'm okay, and we're... No, just that. That's all.
Okay, I respect self-love. Okay. Fair enough, Phantom.
You sure I should skip on that part? If she finds out about this, she'll be angry. I don't really want to deal with angry Rebecca. It gives me a stomachache just thinking about it.
Angry anyone scares me too.
Neither do I, but I'll handle it if she gets mad. Just make sure she's safe and tell her to be careful.
Oh.
You too. Take care of yourself.
But yeah, Phantom, I hope you're doing well. Yes, yes, yes. Almost abruptly, she pauses, the gaze in her eyes hardening as she lapses into another one of those long-distance silences from earlier. This ain't just because of the whole fiasco with the letter anymore.
I don't want what happened to Rose to happen to you guys as well.
Oh, sweetie. This one cut deeper. Before I can ask about it, Ashton returns, casually swinging his car keys in one hand and gestures at Isabella.
Come on, we don't have much time. Shirley's waiting.
Why did you name your car Shirley? There needs to be a backstory on that.
Whose shirt? Oh, right. Don't answer that. I don't want to hear it, you huge dork.
Says the person who gave her stuffed toys names. Batcat? Really?
I love a Batcat. It's so cute. Wait, is Batcat real? Wait, I need to do research real quick. Wait. Is Batcat real? Can I get an actual Batcat plush? Batcat plush. Like, there are similar ones, but there's not like the one she has. Oh my god, it's it's showing me the Scaramouche cat plush. Oh, I do want it though. I want it. There are a few Batcats. They're not as cute and pillowy as the one Isabella has though. But I do want the Scaramouche cat. I want it. I want it so much. Why is he crying? Ah, okay. Enough. Enough distractions. Me, myself, and I, the first three cars should be named Christine? Why Christine? That's an interesting name for a car. How about Karstine?
It's cute. Yours is just weird.
Yeah! I agree with Isabella.
I'll see you later, Zach.
Wait, what did you name the sheep? Unless the sheep is named Batcat. Then that's weird. Unless you name the Batcat sheep and the sheep Batcat because you got them at the same time. Then I respect that. I have a small brain. I'm sorry. I am out of it. She spares me another smile, and as I watch her walk off, only now did it occur to me that none of those she gave today ever did reach her eyes. I make a grab for the back of Ash's parka. He staggers briefly before correcting himself and shooting me a confused stare.
Is she all right?
What? Who's okay?
Isabella. She's been, I don't know, out of it today?
But yeah, Phantom, why Christine?
Did something happen earlier?
The scowl on his face says it all.
She's actually been like that this morning. I'll ask, but...
Just do me a favor and watch over her. We have no idea what we're dealing with. I don't know what happened to her since the last time I saw her, but from how she's been doing today, whatever it is, seems like a pretty big deal. Wait, you didn't annoy her again, did you? Because I swear to God, if you did, you've got another thing coming for you.
Isabella Protection Squad, let's go!
What? No. Why would I?
I'm just asking. I'll take your word for it. But if you can find out what's bothering her, that'd be nice. Honestly, I don't think it's the letter this time.
I'll see what I can do.
Make sure you keep yourself out of harm's way, alright?
Aw, Cappy Pats.
Yeah, you too. Don't do anything reckless again.
Reckless, no. But I can't make you to promise I won't do anything. After seeing that, there's no way in hell I'm going to pretend there ain't a problem when there is. This is a really big one, and I'll be damned if I let anything happen to you guys while I sit here. I'm done running when things get tough.
Sweetie! I hope that doesn't get you killed. I'm proud of the character development, but I'm also very fearful. He's about to argue for a moment, but...
Look, bro, if things ain't good, I'll be the first one out. But allow me this one thing, aight? Just this one time. If it doesn't work out, you'll be the first one to know. You can laugh then, or berate me all you want. But please don't ask me to step aside like I'm incapable of doing anything to help.
I have no idea if it is the look on my face or the tone of my voice. Sup, Cappy bro? Hope you're doing well. Thank you for the look, my dude. Ultimately, although his mouth presses into a thin line, he nods.
All right. Stay safe, Zach.
when he stumbles into the sidewalk and allows the afternoon crowd to swallow him whole. I like to think the tiny gleam in his eyes is the closest we can get to the optimism in this situation. Whether that alone will be enough to give me a peaceful sleep tonight remains to be said. Ooh, it's almost Halloween! Night falls, and despite my best attempts, sleep continues to elude me. With her image still stuck in my head, flashing every few moments, it catches me off guard, with Ma's lullaby still echoing in my ears, no longer the soft tune it once was. And the terrible gnawing at the pit of my stomach, it's no wonder I can't bring myself to drift off, even for a little while. It is not as if there's a complete lack of things to do while waiting to sleep for sleep to come, if it ever will. And at 3:15 in the morning, I find myself cleaning my photography equipment for no other reason than just to pass time. Something's gonna happen. We're on a CG. Though if I'm going to be honest, it's not the night terrors that are keeping me wide awake tonight, but the anxiety and the hope I'll hear from Ash or Isabella soon. And for what's perhaps the 42nd time, my eyes shift over to the end table where my phone lies still. I've not heard from them since they left. Yeah, it's another capybara! Meet Cappy Bro. I only know 2 capybaras in my life. Capybara, Cappy Bro, and Aroma. Cappy Aroma. Yes, yes, yes. I've not heard from them since they left. Oh, you know 3? Damn. They're multiplying. They haven't promised a call, of course, but a small part of me wishes they would have the common sense at the very least. Waiting is a tough game, and with the concern stretching out the minutes far longer than usual, it's impossible for more unpleasant thoughts not to enter my mind. Moreover, it does not help that when the clock finally strikes 3, my hand stills. Wait. So she obviously died at night, because that's a nightgown. Was she help? Because she obviously really hates the lady of the house. I'm sorry, I'm trying to just... It's a GF! We're not calling her girlfriend. It'll be a complete and utter lie to say my hair didn't leap straight... To say my heart didn't leap straight to my throat in that brief second. My whole body has gone motionless, ears straining for any further sounds. A couple of tense seconds pass. Nothing. Of course, with how old the building I'm staying in, power fluctuations aren't anything new. Every now and then, this would happen, leaving a few tenants in a rather bad mood. Nothing unusual anymore after a few years of living here. But this time, the sudden hush brings with it a stillness that raised the hair at the back of my neck and set my heart beating hard against my chest. Something reeks in the air, and in an instant, this place is no longer home. It's a prison. Every rational fiber in my being screams at me to leave. I force myself to swallow and keep a clear head as I lay down all my cleaning tools and begin gathering together the rest of my things scattered around the table. The camera's body, lenses, filters, diffuser, phone, anything my hand could reach, but in the resultant panic, like in the nightmares, it is the scent that reaches me first. A foul, putrid smell filling my lungs with the heavy stink of death. My fingers clamp tightly to the camera, holding it closer to my body as if the tiny thing would provide enough protection to whatever it is with me in the room. It won't. But it's the only comfort I have.
Hello? I know you're in here. What do you want?
Something moves behind me. A A soft scuttling over the walls, followed by the squelch and painful creaking of what can only be rotten flesh and broken bones. Without hesitation, I whirl around, my fingers and camera ready, patiently waiting for another movement.
Leave! Leave now! There's nothing here for you!
Oh no, is that gonna die? There's a brief moment of silence after, and for a short while I think my pleas worked. Then, with no warning, the shuffling resumes, and along with it are sobs of a woman. Oh, I hate this! Oh, it's a quick time event. Use the mouse. Oh god, I have to use the mouse to look around, and you press spacebar to take a picture. Did I die? Was I supposed to take a picture of her? Oh my god, that reminds me of Hotel 626 when you're trapped with the maid. The light flashes fleetingly one last time, allowing me a glimpse of her grotesque misshapen features before it is once again lost in the darkness. You believe in lethal hugs? Dang. Please remind me never to get hugged by you. All of a sudden, her tune changes, no longer a soft cry, but a high-pitched shriek, brimming with pain, grief, and anger. Every ounce of courage I've mustered flees from my body at the sound, and the next thing I know, my hand is gripping the knob, and I'm wrenching the door open. Her wails follow me as I flee into the night. Did I do good? Was I supposed to take a picture of her? Pacing has always been more of Ashton's thing, not mine. When I want to think, I sit and let the minutes tick by until the idea comes to mind or my pulse settles down. And yet dried leaves and twigs crack under my shoes as I make another pass at them. Terror is too mild to describe what this is. Ash, who are you calling at this time of night? There's no way in hell I'm going back. Whatever she is, pleading won't work. The moment we saw that letter, she's been after us.
But I can't run. Not this time.
You can't punch a ghost, Zachary. Nearly 2 hours have gone by since I left the comfort of my room for the solitude of the park. 2 excruciating hours since I've started making calls. No one's answering. Not even Rebecca, who has always kept her phone line open in case other people need her. Or Isabella, who frequently checks hers for any messages and readily responds as soon as she can afford. It does not help that Ash hasn't said a word where he left off to as well.
Damn it! I knew I should have asked him before I let him leave.
Knowing him, he can be anywhere. I bet he's at the mansion right now. But there's really only one place he'll likely be at this time. The sun has already peeked over the horizon when I make it to the mansion. I have no idea what I'm expecting to see when I got here. There's Ashton first and foremost. A part of me wishes that my assumptions were correct, and he's already somewhere close by on a stakeout. But I've never been the lucky sort when it comes to that kind of guessing. And even after I've made a round of the immediate vicinity, I could find neither hide nor hair of him. Calling him does no good either, considering how awful the signal here is. He can't be too far away if he's really here, but if he is, he would have already noticed me by now. Instead, there is only silence. The kind too quiet to find any sort of comfort in. Even the trees seem to have fallen asleep with the rest of the mansion, oblivious to what's happening around it, a small island of stillness in the otherwise fast-paced world. No wonder the whole Anslim feels at odds with the rest of Luxembourg. While the city is alive, growing every minute, breathing every second, and pulsating with life, the village remains unmoving, unchanged. It's not surprising the legend still lives up to this day, and why she's still here, walking its hollowed halls. And beyond me, the mansion looms ominously. But now ain't the time for fear. Wait, why is it lagging? That scared me. But now ain't the time for fear. It's capybara time. Screams. Even if Ash is not here, I've still got to let the Wrights know what I've seen, what's in their home. And whatever grievance Ash has with them doesn't matter. There might be grounds for imprisonment, but they don't deserve a brutal death at the hands of one malicious spirit. They do be spooky creatures. Did you know that they're venomous? I'm sure Isabella would want the same thing. I head straight for the door without a second thought. It takes a few rings, the sound loud above the foreboding stillness before I hear footsteps on the other side.
God and Bennett, only a Nancy would knock at such an ungodly hour.
Ah, it's Luke.
Where's that damn butler when I need him?
Oh wait, what? He has an aura around him. What? Before long, the door swings widely open and Mr. Luke Wright standing behind it. Seething would be a complete understatement to describe him. Don't worry about it. Ask Cappy. She's the one who told me this information. Like this, I've got no doubt why Ash would find him a suspect.
You again? It's bloody 6 in the morning.
Good morning.
What the hell is it now?
Listen, sir, I know this is not a good time.
Oh, it's not a good time. Did you even check the clock before coming here? I bet you didn't. Unlike you, the ones living in this house need to sleep. Come back when people are actually awake, or I'll call security on you.
Before I can get a word in, he slams the door to my face and bolts it shut with much finality.
Wait, sir, you gotta hear me out. You're both in danger if you stay in there. Have you seen the news lately? Everything's not a coincidence.
Only silence answers me. Maybe if it was Miss Wright. Oh, who am I kidding? I've already seen the look on her face when I've tried before. There are limits how far a person will believe in you. Then again, I didn't believe Isabella when she warned us. And now I'm here, desperately trying to save people. Even I'm aware it's completely out of my own capacity to do so. Is this what they call karma? If so, this is one horrible way of turning things around. Taking people's lives, playing with people's fears, making them feel useless.
You're around, ain't you? You here? Inside this house? Listening, watching, or whatever it is that you spirits do? What do you want? You're already dead! Leave us!
Nothing. I don't even know who I'm talking to, or if a sane person is supposed to be doing that. The only thing I got after is a feeling of foolishness washing over me. Or perhaps this is just me losing my mind. Out of other options and any other ideas, I let my hand slide off the door's surface and fall listlessly to my sides. I can go back to Luxembourg, try to find the others, try to get out of this mess with them, or let them know how much in deep shite we all are. Both sound good. Either way, my loitering here ain't helping at all. I let the quietness calm me for a few more minutes before standing up and heading out to fetch my bike. It's quite the distance to Luxembourg, but if I hurry, I'll reach it. I'll reach it in maybe... The rustling stops as soon as I turn around and strain my ears for any other movement around me.
Yo, Ash, you there?
No answer. Johans? If he is here, and I've just missed him earlier... Already, my feet are moving in search for him for a second time. It won't hurt to double check. Triple check, even. With how big the property is, he can be anywhere. If things ain't so urgent, if they ain't so dire that lives are at stake, I'd probably have just waited for him to show up again.
But damn it! He needs to realize what exactly it is he's dealing with.
That is not just a petty criminal he can simply throw in jail. That is something beyond the authority his police badge could ever give him. The guy needs to stop playing the big damn hero, sit down and chill. My breathing comes in short, shallow rasp by the time I make it back to where I started. There's still no sign of him, and I'm beginning to think I'm just wasting my time here. But that's when I hear it. I'd recognize the melody in a heartbeat. Ma's favorite song, Oh No. I listen for a while, trying to gauge where exactly from the house it's coming from. My feet start moving before I can stop them. And there, as I circle a corner, from a room in the first floor. A single window is open, but I can't make out whoever's inside. However, I'm sure the singing's coming from there. Still, why I'll hear an old tune here of all places, I wouldn't know. It's not an obscure song by any means, but it's pretty rare to find someone who knows this. And for some reason, death seems to follow this song around. Panic lodges itself at the base of my throat at once. Who's ever humming might be... I don't want to be the pessimist now, but on the off chance, is it Miss Wright? Sorry, I paused because I was trying to hear what the ghost sounded like.
Shit.
I shouldn't just barge in there. I can put myself in danger before I can save anyone. Ash will tell me so in the exact same words. Might even write me a dissertation why that is a bad idea if he ain't so lazy. But damn it. God damn it! This is obviously the ghost. She's sounding like mama. Let's keep looking for Ash. Wait, but what if we try to help her? Welcome, Jabin. Good luck with work. I don't want Zach to die. I'm going safe. I'm looking for Ash. Mind your own business. Oh no. In the end, the rational part of my brain wins out. The half that has spent too much time around Ash. It's right though, the reasonable part. If I do force my way in and find something unpleasant, how am I going to fight back? With my camera? No matter where you look at it, that's simply asking for a painful death. Oh, even the game is saying I would have died.
I have a better chance if I find Ash. What is he snooping about?
Perhaps I should try the forest? Make around further into the gardens? Not a sound plan, but it's better than nothing. The woman's soft sobs have subsided now by some means. Now almost inaudible, to the point where I'm wondering if I truly heard what I heard. I didn't get to dwell much on it, though, because in that moment my phone rings. The sharp notes, cutting pierce through the thick quietude. Oh no, I have a bad feeling about this. I clamp a hand over it, pressing the button before the speakers are close to my ear.
Are you?
Oh no. I only caught the tail end of the person's greeting on the other side, but I know the voice well enough.
What was that, Ash? Could you repeat that?
GG, Zach. I think I accidentally killed you.
Signal shitty here.
I asked, where are you? Hell, Zach, I've been calling your number for a good 20 minutes now. What kind of shithole did you get into?
Good morning to you, too. I should be asking you that question. I've been looking all over the mansion for you. I thought you'd be...
What mansion?
Do I really need to answer that?
Why are you even... No, wait. Just get your ass here at Isabella's place, and hurry.
I shift my gaze into the mansion, specifically at the window I heard the cries from. There's nothing of it now, not even echoes.
How urgent is this?
Pressing enough for you to stop asking questions and get yourself here. Please, Zach.
That gives me a pause. It's a rare thing for him to take on that tone.
I'll be there in a few. An hour or two tops.
Thanks. I'll see you.
I rush back to my bike as soon as the call ends. Without another look, I leave the mansion along with its haunting melodies and grim echoes behind. There's more important things than my own curiosity and impulses. Ooh, now we're with Marianne. No, we just ended Zach's route. Now we're in Marianne. Ooh. Welcome, Shade. We almost accidentally killed Zach. And there was a really spooky thing with cameras and having to take a picture of her, and I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. Don't worry, he's alive, he's alive. We're not doing a genocide route right yet. 7:15 p.m. The numbers are so little on top of my screen, and they glare at me with such intensity that I can hear their accusations. I'm late for a night out with the girls, yes, but I have perfectly good news. Jeez. Ooh, okay. Good news, I hope. Considering I didn't follow typical office hours, they really can't expect me to be able to just go as I please at 5:30 on the dot. The client is, first and foremost, my priority. I have to sit tight with my personal assistant, Chris. Tells me we have a big one coming up, and I shouldn't miss this one. He knows a lot more on who's who and what's what when it comes to these socialites, and I trust that judgment call. I really don't have time for rich people, their drama and their politics. Those sort who were born with silver spoons in their mouths and who were used to wagging their silver tongues about. I let him handle the negotiating with them for the most part. Why else would I have hired him? But he told me I'd received a message about an hour ago. But yeah, Shade, I hope things went well in the doctor's office.
Now, if only he has the full shilling when it comes to the time.
Come on, I have a social life too, you know. To an extent. Sort of. Pressing my head against the table, I try to stave off an oncoming headache when the notification for a new email pops up. All I'm expecting is, hey, this looks like a good project I found. Go send them a design, or something like that. Really, that's how it often goes. Even with these rich, jammy clients who's heard of me from their equally rich, jammy friends, I can't expect them to hire me right off the bat. That is concerning, Shade. Good news, I hope. Which is all well and good and reasonable. Oh, okay. They do say no news is good news. We figure out what they want, send them my portfolio, my drafts for their projects, my rates, and hope for the best. This is a big client, Marianne. I'll babysit Berfuel for you. From the blood work, I still need to get a CT scan. Probably going... Ah, okay. I wish you the best, Shade. I hope that nothing comes up. Knock on wood. Just please take this one project. I promise this person is huge in Luxembourg. Mr. Parker's a formal request to secure the services of Marianne McConnell, hereinafter called the designer, as authorized by Hannah Wright, hereinafter called the client, for the interior design work at Ermengarde Mansion, Luxembourg, LX 18 ORF, United Kingdom. I still hope for the best, Shade. Yes, yes, yes. Here. Hearts. Hearts for two. Hearts. And a few head pats for good measure. Yes, yes, yes. I believe. The client hopes to have the designer here on the 21st October, Friday, with the time pending. But as I open the email and see that I've already been requested by the client specifically, well, I certainly didn't expect that, and it's pretty straightforward, too. It's a pleasure. Anyone else would probably be excited. They would be working with the Hannah Wright. She's just one of those rich socialites that everybody loves to talk about, no matter how hard I try to tune such nonsense out. But yeah, Shade, it's a pleasure, pleasure. It would have been enough for me to reply an affirmative to Chris and leave, but he has never pleaded for me to take a project before. We've worked on with big personalities in the past, celebrities, bankers, and even a few politicians. My PA had been indifferent about those. So the question bounced about my skull before I spy one of the email attachments. A newspaper clipping from the Luxembourg Daily's business news section boasting the headline, Wright Enterprise donates £2.5 million to refuge. It certainly caused a stir back then. Okay. At the grand opening of the new Wright Hotel last Wednesday, our local billionaire couple, Luke and Hannah Wright, announced the donation of £2.5 million to help Luxembourg Refuge to keep their services open. Unexpectedly, but certainly welcome. This follows only a month after the couple's previous donation of the same amount to Save the Children UK. One of the largest donations. This amount will help keep the safe house in Luxembourg open for several years. With this money, Refuge can keep helping women, children, and victims of domestic violence. There are rumors as well of the charity talking with the couple and looking into building a local center equivalent to their Gaia and Athena locations. These rumors have come to us due to one of the Enterprise's employees of Project Eros. What? It's a slip of the tongue! I first started unironically saying women instead of women, and now I just say women now. It's horrible. I hate it, Shade. I've been cursed. I've been cursed. I said it for the memes, but now it's my normal vocabulary. Apparently, they had invited businessmen and socialites everywhere, in the guise of it being some big business announcement. How dare you laugh at me?
2.5 mil and an expensive-looking party to boot. These people sure know how to throw their money around.
Yeah, and since that it's a donation, they actually get tax benefits from it as well. So they'll get half of that back. Not that I should be so callous. Well, that's assuming UK donations work the same as Canadian tax donations work. Are donations tax deductible everywhere? Huh, I'm curious now. They're going to do a lot of good and help a community of people with all those pounds. I, of all people, shouldn't criticize such acts, whether they were for show or not. They are? Ah, okay. Thank you, Fire. Welcome, welcome. Ooh, how's your art been, if I may ask? And have you been able to stream lately? I know you said you took an interest in it. At the very least, I know they'll be able to pay my rates. With the headline out of the way, however, I find myself staring at the picture that came along with the clipping. Because, wow, here I am expecting a sour old woman in a blazer and skirt. But the woman that was plastered on the front page looked like she belongs on the front page of an entertainment section, or even, if I am to be crass, as a pinup for glamour. Okay, I'll be real here. A men's magazine. She sure knows how to rock with that dress. Wait. Her hair, her eyes, her lips. She can't be her. Good for you, Fire! I hope you're having fun with it. But at the same time, she is her. Only several years older. She looks just like... No, come on, Mac. The world is full of pretty blondes. Oh no, does she look like an ex? Ooh. I wish you the best of luck. I hope that it goes well. Yes, yes, yes. It's just a coincidence. 9 to 10. Nice. With a shake of my head, I snap out of it and reach for my phone when it buzzes, nearly falling off my chair in the process. No problemo. Who else would be on the other line but the very people waiting for me? Wait, who's that painting of? Is that Marianne and someone else? Are they in cosplay? Oh my god, they look so cute! Oh!
Oh, piss. I'm so sorry, Cam. I'm on my way.
That's what I say. Yet, I still don't move from my chair, face flush and heart racing. I could only stare until I will myself to reply that yes, I'm accepting the assignment. And it takes even more time for me to close the image, shut down the computer, and leave. Even then, it's already burned its image into my head, no matter how much I wish it would just disappear. Is Hannah an ex? Let's go? It makes me eager for the alcohol in the company. Oh. If that's the case, yeah, an hour should be. To have the mic. If your voice still isn't 100%, I vote to have the mic off and just, like, type chat to be on the safe side. Because overworking it when it's just getting better might just make your voice worse in the long run, Fire, so I'd rather be safe than sorry. But that's just my 2 cents. Do what you believe is best. Ah, okay. Fair enough, fair enough. I hope your voice gets better soon. That's no fun. It makes me eager for anything that can help me forget. It's a good thing that the nearest pub is just a hop, skip, and a jump from here. The Galway Shawl, as it is called by those who frequented the place, is not only decent, it's the only decent Irish pub in this country. You've been sick for a week and a half? Sweetie, I am so sorry to hear that. I hope you have a lot of warm drinks and stuff to soothe your throat, like ginger and stuff. Aww. I'm glad to hear that it's doing better than it was last time, from the sounds of things. It sucks because I'm currently in school and can't afford to miss days. Oh yeah, that's completely fair. Oh dear. Hopefully you have a friend who can take notes for you at least. Or at least someone you can trust to catch you up on things you've missed. Yes, yes. I hope that is the case. Yay! Okay, I'm glad. The Galway Shoal, as it is called by those who frequented the place, is the only decent Irish pub in this country. Your British is coming out when you chat. It's because we're playing an Irish lady right now. Gotta narrate in British. I hope it sounds like a decent British accent and not a bad one at least. My one worry is getting closer and closer to finals. Yeah, it is midterms and finals week, ain't it? Especially in once December hits. It's good, yeah. Thank you. But yeah, Fire, best of luck. Best of luck to everyone actually for finals and midterms. Yeah. I fear. But I'm sure you guys will do great. I believe in you guys. You can pretty much tell that there's someone new if they call it by its official name, the Crawl Bar. That does not sound like an appealing name for a bar. My home away from home ever since I moved to Luxembourg. Well, that is when I'm not cooped up in my condo and working anyway. It has good alcohol, good company, and thank God and thank Cecilia, good music. Crowd favorites like Bothy Noise, the High Wasteland Men, and Second Fusion Orchestra are often played. Not to mention the singing. I love singing. Marianne sings? Anyone could just break out into a drinking song, and the others in the pub were just wonderful that they'd start singing along. Oh, that's so cute! And doing so while intoxicated is the best ways to go about it. Hey, it's a win-win, as long as I don't puke in the middle of the course, and as long as I can get home in one piece at the end of the day. And tonight is karaoke night. What better time than to try and sing all my worries away? That's what my intoxicated brain tells me.
The ghost of guilt and sorrow remembers who I am, and in the prison of my heart, I was my only slave.
But drinking only reminds me of my home, and the thought of home makes me think of her.
But in the depths of my cold soul, I'll leave the burden and despair.
She's actually a really good singer. Holy. It makes me nauseous. It sickens me that the smallest reminder of her can cause me such grief.
I'll fight for what's worth fighting for. Forget the fear, forget the rest.
Holy shit, this is what you sound like when you're drunk? What do you sound like when you're sober? Of course, that might just be the booze. Any other day, I would have scolded myself for drinking for so much.
I lied to the Lord, I lied to myself, I lied to you and everyone I care, until there were no more lies to tell.
But I already have a client, and we'll be having our first little meet and greet in a few days.
Cowardice is easier than being brave, but at last I found the strength I lost to sing my love letter to you.
Aww.
'Cause people can lie, but my lone heart beats true.
I want to at least enjoy this night, get over the hangover tomorrow, and return to being a prim and proper professional after. Not later.
That song was for Cam, our lucky bride to be. So give her a hand, Galway shawl.
Oh, that's so cute. Considering the city I'm in, one can excuse my smug grin as cheers and applause rise among the pub's patrons. Because possibly off-key public singing aside, I feel like I'm on top of the world right now, and that's a good reason as any to belt out in front of these strangers. With good drinks and good friends, there's nowhere else I'd rather be tonight. And I forget for a short while.
And that song was brought to you by Marianne McCullough, everyone! A round of applause!
Haruna, okay.
That was so good. You rock, Marianne.
Oh, please stop. You're just saying that.
She is so pretty!
You know neither of us can hold a tune, Marianne. A toast to our shameless drunk singer. May your drinks forever flow and your notes be ever lovely.
Oh my god. What a lovely bunch of lasses. Let's go.
If anyone deserves a toast tonight, that's Cam. Finally sealed the deal after 3 years, eh?
Read 'em and wait, bitches.
Camella's diamond engagement ring gleams as she holds it up for all the world to see. She has reasons to be proud. 3 years of living together, and her boyfriend finally asked her the big question. Obviously, she said yes. Can you imagine if she said no after 3 years of living together? That'd be horrifying.
Don't get too attached to that ring or the one after, sweetie. I was wearing a wedding ring not so long ago, and look at where I am.
Damn, Haruna.
But enough of me being a downer. Cheers to a happy engagement!
Of course, if something like Haruna's divorce were to happen, I'd be there for Cam. Wouldn't it? Just as Cam had been there for me, acting more than just my yoga instructor, I can't be happier for my friend right now. Wait, 3 years is a little slow? Living together for 3 years is slow? I am romantically stupid. I don't know what's considered slow and I don't know what's considered fast. Is that slow? I feel like that's safe. Oh, 2 years? Max? I'm guessing? Oh, it's the typical. Okay. Thank you, Fire.
Cheers!
Wait, then what's Max?
Cheers.
Well, we both will be there for Cam, won't we? Haruna and I. 10. Oh, you've heard people living together for 10 years without being married. Wouldn't common law come in then? If you ain't popped the question by then you'd probably never. Ah, that makes sense. That makes sense. 3 makes sense for me because I don't know if this is a Filipino thing or just something that my family made up. But my parents always say, well, my father always said at least 3 months because it was the 3 months are I, love, and then you. So yeah, so 3. So it'd be 3 years. My cousin just got married last year after dating and living with her husband and with her now husband after like 15 years. Wow! Good for them! Let's go! Haruna, it's been a real bad year for her ever since her divorce. She's such a nice person, even loaning me money to open a studio, and she didn't deserve what her husband had pulled. But yeah, congrats to your cousin on getting married. Ayo. Welcome back, J-Bent! We're talking about relationships and how I'm completely out of the loop. And hello, Phantom. Thank you for lurking, as always. I'm happy she's smiling again and pigging out like she used to. I think we've all missed our Japanese firecracker. We met in yoga class, something I had joined to keep myself in shape and, well, honestly, so that I could make friends when I had moved to Luxembourg. I believe, J-Bent. Clearly, it worked like a charm. And it definitely didn't have anything to do with the fact that I brought along my lucky D20 die with me on the first day. No, sir. Oh my god, she plays D&D. Let's go. They're not important, J-Bent. They're just Marianne's friends. They don't even get sprites. Yeah, we just recently started Marianne's chapter. Zach lived. Zach lived. We got our boy to live. I love these girls so much.
What about you, Marianne? You're 30 years old and you still haven't got yourself a man.
Cam, shut up. You're getting married. This isn't about me.
And you guys know I have a very busy schedule. I don't have time for that.
I have a cat to take care of? Excuse me?
Oh, come on. That's a lame excuse and you know it.
Hell nah!
You need a man who'll take care of you and you need it now. Maybe some hunk will be your house hubby while you rake in the dough.
Spriteless losers. That's mean. Don't say that to Haruna. She's going through a divorce right now while her friend's getting married.
I'm quite capable of taking care of myself. Who needs a Mr. Right?
Hey, look at me. I'm Marian McCullough, a lawful neutral cleric with 9 points in wisdom and 8 in charisma, but I can't get myself a date.
Oh my god, I love it! Skill issue. They play together! Oh my god! Bye, Fire! Take care! Thank you so much for stopping by! I wish you the best of luck with everything. Yes, yes. I mentioned druids and demons once. Once! And they don't even know the rules or understand what the numbers mean. And I am certainly not some sort of holy person. I am a far cry from a miracle worker, and I barely have the willpower to fight off demons, especially my own. Bro, why does her cleric have 8 charisma? I don't know, bro. I don't know what her skill tree is. But yes, no problemo, Fire. Please do take care.
Actually, maybe she isn't looking for a Mr. Right, but a Mrs. Right.
Ayo? Hello? I am here.
Oh, my Marianne, we still love you even if you're in the closet.
That would explain some things. Haruna, you don't have a ring anymore. Maybe you two can be together and I don't have to worry about my best girls being alone.
Let's go.
What are you on about? There's nothing to explain.
Wait, is she in the closet? But the more I deny, the louder they tease until the other people in the pub start to watch. I mean, that's not a dump stat for clerics. That's their main stats. Ah, okay. It doesn't help at all when Haruna drapes her arm over my shoulder and leans in.
Will I be all yours then? Will you be making me feel like a woman?
Ew, what do you mean by that, Haruna? I know they're just kidding around, but this doesn't make me comfortable in the slightest. So when Carmela notices my silence and Haruna sees the expression on my face, they stop. I'm glad they respect your boundaries. Let's go. These are true friends right here. And when the awkward air settles over us, the rest of the pub goes back to whatever they were doing before the whole thing ever happened. They probably won't even remember it when they wake up with massive hangovers anyways. Oh, hell yeah, Jabin.
Sorry.
Me too.
Hey, no hard feelings, right?
True, Jabin, true. I raise my glass. They smile. We drink. There's no need to say more. We're all definitely far too drunk tonight. Yeah, they are! Especially the fun times. Eventually, the fun times end. It is a weekday, after all. And with Haruna being a nurse, she still has to get ready for her next shift. Oh my god, she's a nurse? RIP. Are they as understaffed in the UK as they are in Canada? If so, I wish them the best of luck. my chat buffered for a bit. That's concerning. I hope the stream is still okay. Cam's also has a loving fiance waiting for her at home, and really didn't have to make a fuss about having left some buns in the oven when she took off early. Imagine being a nurse in the USA though. A nurse in general, honestly, man, it's a tough job. Really, I understand. Cause like even here in Canada, 12-hour shifts are normal, and then they ask you to work overtime on top of that. I was the one who insisted, who was determined to get pissed drunk anyway. Moving to the bar, I sit. Alone at last. Doesn't help with everyone quitting and like the head nurses just having like 1 year, being 1 year in their profession or 2 years. Yeah, a lot of the head nurses have left. All the like long time people who worked in the industry. Yeah. Medicine really does need more students and people. Alone at last. Oh dear. Alone with a stranger. I haven't seen him here before. Obviously not a regular. He hasn't said a word and just sits there savoring his drink. With his whiskey served neat in one hand and lighter in the other, it doesn't seem like he's noticed me yet, and maybe I should go before he does look my way. Because he was pretty and he was blonde. And those two things plus alcohol never did me any good. Oh no, she's into blondes. Oh no, she doesn't know that's her client. Oh no. A thought too late. Judging by the way his flushed face and the dazed look in his eyes, he's as pissed drunk as I am. But whereas I feel like kneeling over, he looks like he's ready to take the catwalk by storm. Really, he just has the air of one of those men who think they own the world.
Hello there, sexy. Please don't stand up on my account. I already like what I see.
Oh God, please never say that word ever again.
Fancy a drink? It'll be on me.
But then again, I might be pleasantly surprised if he proves me wrong.
Want some between the sheets? Sex on the beach? I'm talking cocktails, of course.
Fat chance. But it doesn't matter, we both know how to play this game. But there are two different ways for the night to end. One thing or another is going to happen. The question is, what do I want to do? Please give me a choice.
Oh no, that's fine. I'd rather order some blue balls or some AMF if you don't mind.
He looks like he's about to say some witty retort, but stops himself and downs the rest of his whiskey. I order a mid-julep, he gets another whiskey, and we start the customary small talk. I know, right? Of course, the saying, ask me no questions, and I'll tell you no lies, goes without saying. We ask nothing about each other, offering up falsehoods to establish a strenuous fake connection between two strangers at a pub, if only to pass the time. Whiskey, as I've come to call him, is supposedly 21 years old, single, takes care of his sick mother, and is a manager of some sorts. Manager of what? I didn't care to listen to the details. Meanwhile, Mint, as he has come to call me, is 29, and what did I say I was again? Oh yes, I told him I was a professional chocolate taster, because fluck it! I'm going to lie about what my job is, I might as well make it fun. It's a pretty decent chat between two pretty drunk strangers, and it's maybe just me, but we might as flucking well expend the teeniest amount of effort in pretending there's something meaningful in this meeting. Would have been nice too if it was just left at that. But during a lull in the conversation, he brings it up.
You know, I've never been with a woman taller than me.
Shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up. I don't have ears. I don't have ears. I don't have ears. And to think he might have been so different from the rest.
Never have and never will, Whiskey.
Good job, Marianne. Love you.
Can we go back to the history of chocolates?
Hell yeah.
Did you know that chocolate candy was introduced in 19th century England as a healthier alternative to alcohol?
Did you know that chocolate was also used to feed the sick, since that it was filled with calories? Saint Lucy was the most wonderful woman of her time. She had men come from the four corners of the world just to see the pure light of her exquisite green eyes. If she was so lucky, anyway.
No, enough of the history lesson. Come on, Mint. You know and I know what you came here for.
Ew! Marianne, just leave. Think of your cat. Though not every suitor was gallant, and she was no fool, she had known that sooner or later she wouldn't be able to defend her chastity. No! No, Marianne! Marianne, no! Defend it!
Come on. There must be something that gets you going.
I'm dying. So she had taken out a knife and gouged out her own eyes.
There is something, but I don't think you can handle it.
Impressed with her devotion, God restored her eyes and made them more beautiful than before. He has a particular sense of humor, hasn't he? Because that only meant suitors kept going after Lucy, and she kept her eyes in a chalice to scare them away.
Oh, I'm pretty sure I can handle whatever it is.
Oh God, your wife is pregnant with twins. Your wife is pregnant with twins. Your wife is pregnant with twins. Saint Lucy, help me. Help me turn away from sin. Help me with my own blindness. Ooh, is this hinting that if we get Marianne to die, her eyes might be gouged out? That'd be interesting during the genocide route.
My place isn't too far from here. I won't take care of you if it ends up being too much for you.
Marianne, no, you never bring them home. That is such a bad decision. Marianne, I hope the cat eats him.
And no one will be able to hear you if you try to scream.
No! What am I listening to?
You sure you want to go down that road, pretty boy?
Wouldn't have it any other way.
Ah, that's your client. That's your client. She doesn't know that's her client. The best thing about having my condo so close to the pub is the ease of access. As long as I can still stand and walk, I can make it home. Where's the skip button? There is one, but I want to know what happens. Hopefully they just pass out. Maybe I'd need help from a kind neighbor or two to help me with the last leg if I've really gone overboard on the alcohol. But I always made it home. Sometimes with company. Course, that always comes with complications, especially the really clingy ones. Oh, that's... how do you not get stalkers, Marianne? You're literally leading them to where you live. But it isn't anything a good tip about stalkers to the building security can't fix. Oh, okay. Okay, building security handles your stalkers. Okay, I didn't read that before I answered the question. I asked my question. I'm always nervous, though, even if this isn't the first time I've done this. The first few minutes— oh, no, it is we. She took him home. Why couldn't it have been like another stray cat or dog? And the first few minutes when we enter my room are the first few agonizing minutes where I try not to panic. Okay, Mac, so far so good. Don't let him smell your fear under all that liquid courage. He'll leave sooner or later, and I'll never have to see him again. Just like every man before him. Oh, sweetie. Oh, sweetheart. Cupcake, buttercup. Oh, you fool! I'd like to say that to myself, that the men I've brought to my place were more scared than I was. Yeah, you could be a serial killer for all they know. Yet there's no fear when I look into Whiskey's eyes, only delight. I don't want to read this. When he starts touching me, I don't even hesitate when I push him against the door. Roughness is to be expected. Is this all people hook up in real life? I think so. This is like genuinely what is this how all people hook up? Not all people. This is how some people do. And as long as he sticks to the script, everything will go smoothly. Save J-Bend! I'm scared. We have a little tumble in the sheets. He'll leave and we'll forget about it. If somebody asked what I really wanted, I would have told them what I wanted: a bed of roses, chocolate and music, and maybe in an Irish castle. But what I really want is her. And that's never going to be a reality. Oh, is she bisexual? She's obviously not pansexual with Luke's ugly-ass personality. That wasn't my fault, of course. Because I was afraid. Because I was a coward. They would never hold a candle up to her. She was the light of my life. And I had to let her go. I can't even be bothered at the thought of her. Just the single thought of her makes my resolve to see this affair through waver.
Wait.
What is it now?
Don't look pissed. Yes, what is it now? Nope, this is wrong, 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 this is wrong.
We're both drunk.
And?
This is wrong. Don't you think it's a bit fucked up that we're about to have sex and we're just calling each other by the drinks that we had? How messed up are we?
We're saving Luke's marriage. Good job. But how many other times has he done this with other girls? How many other times?
Doll, shut up with the ethics and morality talk. It is seriously putting me out of the mood.
Good! Yeah, but we don't know that yet. This is before Marianne knew that Hannah and Luke are together. This is why she's calling him Whiskey. She doesn't know this is her client.
If you want to leave now, Whiskey, I understand. I mean, with how smashed you are, it'd probably be best for you to sleep the night unless you want to be mugged. But I won't stop you. And this isn't going to happen.
Bloody hell.
Ha! Achievement unlocked! Cock blocked! Let's go! Of course, he's annoyed at me for putting off our night of sexual congress. But no means no. And beyond spewing a few profanities under his breath, he surprisingly simmers down soon enough. I was worried for a moment that he might try to force something. Good on Luke! He understands consent! Yeah! Hell yeah! And Bebiz! He also has a soft spot for kids. Like, even Hannah's niece prefers Luke over Hannah. And he's still, like, going to the kids' recitals and stuff. Instead, he makes a show of fixing his suit and smoothing down his hair before making himself comfortable on the nearest seat he could find. Yeah, ain't it?
What are you doing then? You have a guest in your home. Put the damn kettle on.
What a fucking passenger princess. Jeez.
Dandelion tea if you have it. But I suppose all you have are those shitty tea bags from the store.
Dang! Don't bag on tea bags like that. They can be decent. I've made some nice London fogs with Earl Grey tea bags. They're nice. If it isn't for the absurdity of this turn of events, I would have flipped him off for thinking I have no taste. Lipton is good, Luke. We're on a budget. Please, Luke. Jesus Christ. But in the end, I just laugh. Hell, I got cans of Korean ginseng and lemon balm, though. No dandelion. Without a second thought, I do wet the tea. That's 3 minutes we get the kettle to a boil. 3 minutes where we say nothing to each other. I mean, what do you even say to a guy I was going to sleep with until I changed my mind? You kick him out. You kick him out! I doubt he's in the mood to talk about the influence of Troyes on Malroy. It's unusual by the time we're both seated on my bed, with mugs of tea in hand.
Just so you know, whatever is going on right now is a lot stranger and fucked up than the one night stand.
Then leave!
We are two messed up individuals by your logic.
Then leave!
Everything is messed up, if you ask me. War, terrorism, famine, poverty, loved ones and loved lost. Oh, this whole world is a cesspool.
Cry me a river, Luke. The dead air is telling when it fills the room once more. One would think that this is the perfect time to burst, to spill out about whatever issues that made us the fucked up person we are today. Luke, you are a part of the problem. He is! And it is. But I guess some part of me would rather not put the weight of my problems on somebody else's shoulder. I feel that. Just opening up to what happened a few days ago was hard. It wouldn't be fair to leave that to a person when I don't even know if we'll see each other again. Sooner rather than later, we both pass out on my bed, mugs left forgotten on the floor. Oh, I hope you don't step on them when you wake up. Ooh. That's not... Don't you have, like, a table to put them on? When I wake, whiskey is already gone. A bottle of painkillers and a note on the table are the only evidence that I wasn't alone last night. Thanks for the tea, Marriott. Wait, did he call... Matzian? Whiskey. I don't even question where these are from, or just how he knew my real name. Luke knew? Luke knew and he was still gonna go through with it? Luke knew who you were and he was still gonna go through with it? I'm just grateful for something to help with the hangover. Might as well. Wait, relationships. I need to see her relationship with Luke. It got up because we didn't do the do. He lost all the points he gained right there, right? Might as well. I have a job to do. He knew who we were and he... Oh my god. What the hell? Oh my god, and Isabella's are out. He called Marianne Mint. He does know. He does know. Oh my god. Oh my god. It isn't often that I think about drinking on the job, but after meeting with the Wrights yesterday, really makes me want to break my self-imposed rules. First off, fucking damn whiskey was fucking damn Mr. Right! Yeah! And to top it all off, they had somehow forgotten to inform me that they didn't own the Ermengarde mansion yet when they hired me. Oh my god! What is this dude's moral compass? I am genuinely curious what Luke's route's gonna look like. What choices are we gonna make? What are the lesser of two evils will this man make me choose? What sort of person does that?
Ugh, rich people.
I could do nothing but twiddle my thumbs at this, however. Twiddle my thumbs and wait for the go signal. It's not like I can accept other smaller projects. This is a big job, and I should be ready to start on it at any time. Not to mention, my PA practically begged for me to be patient and wait this out. It was a hard decision to agree, but I did so in the end. Besides, I'm doing this for the Ermengarde mansion, not for anything or anyone else. I'd have a headache whatever I do anyway. I'd go to the pub again, but seeing what happened a few days ago, I'd rather not end up in bed with another potential client. And it might be a huge leap in logic, but a library is the next best thing after the pub. I have to go there anyway. I need more books for Dad. Plus, I also need to return the ones I borrowed last time. Finding a new book or two to read for myself while I have nothing to do, isn't such a bad idea either. On a Saturday morning, I find myself going to the only library in Luxembourg to hopefully cool off. After returning an Israel and a poetry book by Henry of Port de Bradley, I asked the librarian about the several titles on my list, though I don't have much luck on that front. Dialogue with Death has already been snatched, and she bluntly said that she did not keep our mathematical universe for someone who didn't return books on time. That's fair. I make a headway at least when I ask about Siege and Rendition of Havana by Jacob de Penzuela. If you can count as stalling and pointing at the history section as headway, that is. The history section is devoid of any other, except for myself and a redhead, though I'd wager a guess that Red's just passing by to get to the classical literature section. No, Rebecca is a history teacher. So many books, so little time. Scanning the books and seeing so many wonderful titles gives me great pleasure. Oh, this makes me miss chapters. I want to go to a bookstore again. I want to buy books again. I want to take them home. I need more children for my collection. And that's when I spotted.
Hello, sailor. Why don't you come to Mama?
Me. Me when a new volume of the manga I'm reading comes out. It's not the Naval of Battle book I was looking for. No, it's even better. Yeah, my book and plushies are children. Yes. I take care of them well. 'Cause that's what they deserve. The newly acquired History of Luxembourg Architecture. First edition, too. I know I just have to get it. I have been waiting to get my hands on the book for so long. Wait, what? Did you think actual children, J-Vent? The fact that there is only one copy proves to be a problem, though, when Red reaches out for it at the same time I do.
I think I had this first, miss.
I can only stare her down when she refuses to let go of the book. Refusing to let go of it as well, I raise a brow at her in hopes that the fact that I was significantly taller than her would intimidate the girl. Oh no, honey. If it's the last book, And I'm shorter than you. I am eating your ankles. It is mine. I was just very confused. Ah, fair enough. You don't call the things you love things of endearment? Even then, she refused with a rebellious look.
This isn't exactly light reading, miss. I mean, do you even know which architect was at the forefront of 18th century Irish architecture?
Oh my god, she's pulling that card. Do you even know what this book is about, miss? Oh my god. A beat. I don't use child as a term of endearment. Well, it depends. Because you're supposed to love and care for children. So I use it as a term of endearment. Gatekeeping architecture. Can you imagine? She blinks and I can't help the smirk on my face, which is wiped off when she opens her mouth.
Edward Lovett Pierce, who established the Palladian style through his work with Castletown House and Irish Houses of Parliament. This bridge was destroyed in this year to delay French troops while under the regency of Mary of Guise.
This is not what I was expecting. Let's be honest, how many people would know these history facts? History teachers. Let go of the book, you filthy casual! That's pretty much what Marianne was saying.
Going right to the obscure ones, aren't you?
Aside from me anyways. My bad, I accidentally clicked my touchpad.
Easy enough. Tullybody Old Bridge in Clackmannanshire, Scotland, on the January of 1560, if we want to be specific.
Suddenly, it's a game where we throw these history questions and facts at each other, back and forth in hushed tones, unless we want to be thrown out of the library. After a while, it goes from some strange competition into a strange but friendly banter, if it could be called that. It's time to duel! Indeed. But as fun as it is, the exchange soon slows down until we're grinning at how odd this whole scene is. Honestly, if I was in the library and I overheard this, this would be the cutest thing.
Marianne McCulloch, my desire for potatoes doesn't quite match what the stereotypes suggest.
Rebecca Gales, the Scots' supposed hatred for the English wasn't enough to stop me from teaching their little spawns.
Oh my god, let's go! To them introducing themselves? I'm guessing it's just the fact of, politeness. Or if you're talking about architecture, it's the book they were trying to get from each other. By then, we had forgotten about our little tug-of-war, although she still holds the book in her hands. I had let go of it without realizing it when she answered my first question.
History teacher, then?
I wasn't very getting to her, just heard something about potatoes. Oh, just because Marianne is Irish. Because Marianne is Irish, and, like, the stereotype that Irish people love potatoes. Yeah. That.
Got it in one.
No wonder you gave me a run for my money. Now, if we're talking about architecture, I'd blow you out of the water. You're from where? Luxburn Uni?
Oh no, just St. Goretti's.
Ah, yes, Saint Goretti. You'd think a school would choose a more appropriate saint to name themselves after, especially when they have very young students. What did Saint Goretti do? Who is Saint Goretti? Pardon. Wait, I know I looked up Batcat. There is no Batcat I want. Who is Saint Goretti? Saint Garrett. How do you spell it?
And I'm guessing you're an architect, if you're so confident about the subject.
Interior designer, Miss Gales.
Please, just call me Rebecca. You aren't one of my students, are you?
Marianne, then.
I could have said that I was an architect, but there's no point in explaining why I wasn't one anymore. Oh, she used to be an architect.
So, I've never seen you before. I'd like to think I've met every history aficionado in town.
Is it Maria Goretti?
I blame the rock I've been hiding under, of course. That, and I'm usually only here on the weekdays if time allows. Work often has me meeting clients on the weekends.
That must be interesting work.
It allows for some creative freedom, sure. But it's like working with children sometimes. Though you probably have it harder working with actual children. The hardest part is convincing them that your idea is their idea.
I think they were a virgin martyr, Maria Teresa Goretti. That's the only one I know of. Yeah, this is Maria Goretti. Yeah, she is a martyr. And apparently, she is best known for her commitment to purity and the courageous defense of a faith at a young age of 11 that made her willing to undergo death rather than participate in a sin against God. So, I guess that it's just a bad idea to name the school after a child saint that died before they can even reach adulthood, or even puberty for that matter.
That sounds exciting.
It is!
Oh, she looks so cute!
But isn't that true for any workplace, though? We just cross our fingers and hope there aren't any man-children in charge of important things.
The second she said man-children, I thought of Luke.
Any big projects right now? I can't imagine that interior designing is a frequent thing.
I'm working on the Ermengarde mansion. Lucky me. That mansion. Intach. Wonderful. Breathtaking. I can't wait to start in it.
She used a Gaelic word. What does it mean? She used a Gaelic word. What does it mean? Lon. That's not how you pronounce it. Meaning. Not only wonderful, but also strange. Okay.
Now that is beautiful architecture.
Jabin, how do you know this? A pause. It looks like she wants to say something at the mention of the house. Not surprised, the place is certainly popular with the locals, especially with the urban legends attached to it. In the next second, though, she seems to think better of it and drops what she's about to say.
So, do you have a portfolio or anything I can take a look at? I'd love to see your designs. Maybe you have some on a tablet?
Fair enough, Jabin. My random fact that I know of is boo is ancient Latin for I'm screaming. And it's one of my most favorite facts. I love it so much.
I've met some designers before, and they're always going crazy over these virtual room apps or another.
A tablet? Please. Callicrates didn't need those silly eye-tabs when he built the Parthenon. I certainly don't need one to design a house.
Rhea, thank you so much for lurking. I hope you take care. Ch-ch-ch-ching. I hope your kitty Nox is doing well too. Yes, yes. The computer back at my place is all I have. Why should I buy such an expensive gadget that will just get outdated within the year? What I have is just as functional. The traditional ways had a far more personal touch, in my opinion. Not to mention, those smartphones are awful tools of procrastination. I can't even count on one hand the number of people I see going outside, only to have their eyes glued on the things. Oh, sweetie. I'm glad that things are calming down. Things have been quite stressful for me as well, but luckily they are calming down as well. Fingers crossed that things get better for the both of us. Yes, yes. Yeah, I remember that, Jabin. That do indeed be a jellyfish. I don't think it's the Manowar jellyfish that does that. Because I know scientists are actually studying that jellyfish to help humans live longer and to actually find a cure for cancer. Fun fact. It's the hydrogen Tryptosis dorans. Yeah, the I can't pronounce it. It's literally known as the immortal jellyfish. Thank you, Rhea. Please take care. And fuck those touchscreens. They're evil things that make typing what should have been a simple task harder.
I do have an online portfolio if you'd like. I can...
Speaking or thinking of the devil seems to have summoned it, because before I can even carry on, Rebecca's attention wanes as she pulls out her mobile. For what I can only assume is a call, she gives me an apologetic look before she's standing up and excusing herself. Off further into the aisles she goes for some privacy. But yeah, thank you, Rhea. Please take care. I do my best to give it to her as well, trying to tune her out.
Belle, is something wrong?
Oh, Isabella called her.
Lunch at the coffee house? Sure, I can make it. I'm not too far. I can be there in 10.
But with how quiet the surrounding is, she can't blame me if I overhear snippets of a conversation. When she returns with a sheepish look on her face, I know that our friendly chat has to be cut short.
Sorry, I have to go and meet with some friends.
It's fine. Totally fine. No need to even apologize.
About the book.
Her embarrassment increases twofold when she realizes she's still holding on to the history of Luxembourg architecture. I don't give it time to think about it as I put a hand up and shake my head, fishing out a pen and paper from my bag along with one of my business cards. I hand them over to her.
You know, I'm busy with work, so I might not even be able to take a peek at it anytime soon. You can go ahead and have it. But you'll have to ring me up when you're returning it just so I can snag it right away. Deal?
She makes quick work penning her number down and handing it back to me with a grin.
Deal. Just message me during school hours, of course. You have a good day then.
You too.
That's weird. Message me during school hours? Wouldn't you want it to be after school hours so that you could, like, focus on teaching your students and stuff? With Rebecca gone, I'm left standing alone in the history section. Although my original plans were to simply sit down and read a good book, our little pop quiz, if you could call it that, made the time pass by without any of us even realizing it. It was fun, and I do believe I made a good friend. Good job, Marianne. Even with the talk of lunch, however, I don't feel like grabbing a bite to eat. There are still other books to read here, and I'm hoping to find something that will help me while I work with the rights. Something like how to deal with arseholes professionally, 101, just in case. I've dealt with a lot of uppity, snooty, and rich clients before, but it's still better to be safe than sorry. Because Luke Wright just takes the fucking cake, and he probably manages to eat it too. It seems the whole world is conspiring to keep me from my me time, as my mobile vibrates in my pockets the moment I find something from the shelves of the classic literature section. Please excuse me while I go to the washroom. Oh, I love Slime Son. I went to the bathroom. Hello! Hello, Javen. Yeah. Just came back, if that wasn't obvious. Ooh, welcome back home! Hope things are doing well. Oh, I forgot to change it back. Ah! I almost continued the game without doing... Okay. Game, please. Okay, good game. It seems the world is conspiring to keep me from my me time as my mobile vibrates in my pockets the moment I find something from the shelves of the classic literature section. Things were absolutely awful, but are rapidly improving. I'm glad, Javen!
Marianne McCulloch, Charlie Rose Design speaking.
Oh! Okay, so this is before Rose died. Got it.
Rose Cooper here, Miss McCullough. I hope I didn't catch you at a bad time or anything. But I just wanted to check in and tell you that we've got the clear to hand over the documents. Madam Wright told us that we should forward the floor plans to you.
Already? How did I go through the process so fast? Surely there is so many red tape to even acquire the forms in transferring the rights. No matter how rich the rights are, it shouldn't be this quick, right?
So, if I can just have your email, I'll be sending them your way.
I'd actually like a physical copy of the floor plans.
Oh, I suppose that's fine. I'm not at the office right now, but I can inform Miss Santos of your request.
I'll make sure to drop by the office after lunch if that's fine.
Not a problem. Right. Well, cheers.
Right. Cheers.
I don't know. I just don't. If there's some sort of deeper miscommunication... Is there some sort of deeper miscommunication when we last met? These things take time. It's been what, a day? Less than that even. There isn't even a point in trying to make sense of these people who seem to be larger than life. As it looks like, I'm on the clock starting today. I might as well eat. Grabbing some fish and chips from one of the street food stalls, I find a table to spend time with a copy of Marquez de Cities, The Crime of Love, since Rebecca left with the book I wanted. I've read this one before. Along with the rest of his works, this would be the 18th time, in fact. But it's always nice to read through it again, when I don't have time to enjoy something new. Besides, when you're dealing with people so filthy rich that they... sorry. My throat is getting... Okay. So filthy rich that they just end up plain filthy. You need a good old Marquez sound advice.
La blessure se trouvant sans aucune sorte de conséquence.
The wound being without any consequence. Of course, it's a folly to think that things have no consequence when everything actually does. Hello! Welcome, welcome. I am so sorry, I do not know how to pronounce your username, but welcome. What would you like to be called? Briar Realty Corporation's Luxembourg branch isn't too far off from the city center, just a few blocks away, and I can easily eat and walk. I'd rather use this time to rest before I go into a flurry of activity, no doubt. There'll be so much to do once we get hands-on with the mansion. No, I'm sorry. My deepest apologies for not remembering. I hope that you've been well.
Still a lot better than working on another condo, at least.
Oh! Oh my god, it's you! You're back! How are you? Frying Pan, hi! Wait, you're Saj? What? No! Surely no matter how much the BRC and the old owners put into the restoration and preservation of this place, any big repairs would be superficial at most. No, what happened? Are you okay? I'm quite certain of that. In their haste to sell their property, they did a rush job. It isn't an infrequent thing to do, despite how it's frowned upon. There'll be a lot of hidden issues that I will need to weed out, and I have to make sure I find every single one of them, especially the more serious damages. Structural integrity is definitely on top of the list we have to consider. Hello, La Ketchup! How is it going? What? The random quote is... Oh, my salvation is sleep and a pleasant dream. Hello, hello, Ketchup. How is you? Structural integrity is definitely on top of the list. We will have to consider. I'm good. Just sat down for dinner. Got some tacos. Ooh, what type of tacos? The building might look sturdy, but it is centuries old. That alone will likely pose a few problems here and there. Put limitations on what we can do. Eh? Wait. No. Frying Pan, you are wrong. I am evil. I am as evil as you remember. Yes. Ooh, chicken tacos. Soft shell or hard shell? Yummy. What's up? I'm scared to touch that save file, Ketchup. I don't want to hurt them. I don't want to hurt them. They're too cute. looks sturdy, but it is centuries old. That alone will likely pose a few problems here and there, put limitations on what we can do. Besides, despite how much I detest those rich snobs, they can pay rather handsomely, as long as I do an excellent job and do more than necessary. Who did you marry? Oh my god, congratulations. Evil Fern still won't hurt innocent NPC. Haley? Oh my. Her heart events are so cute. Dude, good pick. Respect. I love it when I love her 8 heart event when we go to Marnie's ranch and we just take pictures with the cows. It's so cute! I can't break their hearts. Yeah, her blushie is too powerful! Oh, it's great. It's great. Those two things always made sure the referrals kept coming. I don't even have to hunt down projects for myself. Oh, another quote. Alrighty. Let's pick from a different box this time. Fantasy is fun. It has hopes and dreams. On the other hand, reality is boring. I have 4. After stream, I can, like, take a picture of the boxes. Yes, I am evil. I remember you being a cute sweetie. What? Where did the sweetie come from? Who told you this information? Frying pan, I must fry them. Grr, grr. Wow, 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 wow. I will attack. Yes, yes. When I do go up to BRC's office, I can't help but stop and stare when I enter the building. With the lunch hour closing, employees should have been back already if they still aren't filtering through the doors. I get that it's a Saturday, that people probably feel tired and lazy to be working on the weekend. But they're still on the clock and not bumming about wasting company time on extended lunch breaks and cigarette sessions. The evil thing is misdirection? Wait, how am I doing misdirection? I'm intrigued. What? I'm ignoring the first part? Yes, I am an evil thing. I am just an evil thing, full stop. The office is spacious, as it is with these big corporations. Each person is given their space of what's usually a 2x2 meter cubicle. Fern is deadly. Deadly to bees. Wait, what? Wait, what do you mean I'm deadly to bees? I love bees. I love bees. What do you mean? I need bees to live. Without bees, I'm nothing, Phantom. What do you mean bees are chunky and tasty? It sounds like you're a danger to bees. Your true evil plan is to worm your way into our hearts. Oh no. Am I being caught so quickly? But yeah, Phantom, thank you for the water. I appreciate it. There are a lot more empty chairs than there are actual people working at their desks. It reminds me far too much of my last day at the Portskoska projects during the massive layoffs due to the Irish economic crisis. But it isn't just that, though. Everything is quiet as a grave, as if these people are merely ghosts. But what did I ever do to bees? I love bees. Eh? Interesting. Frying pan, what did you try to say? Now I'm interested. I'm scared. Speaking of ghosts, Santos comes in through the door, looking as if she'd just seen one. She looks at me wide-eyed, like a deer caught in headlights, ready to bolt at any moment. I'd ask out of concern, but I feel it's not my position to do so. What if it's something personal? I'd simply be overstepping my boundaries. Really, it's none of my business. That you do cute noises and you have a pretty voice, too. No! I am illiterate. And what is this game about? Oh, this game is called The Letter. We originally played as this fine young lass here, who, yeah, we're selling a house from we're selling a mansion which is haunted, and Miss Isabella here is the first to find a letter that is a chain letter. Yes, yes, yes. And yeah, the letter kills people. It's not nice. And I don't know, J-Ben. I think this was before that happened. If the sensation of seeing the most beautiful landscapes on the world could be converted into sounds, I think I could experience it. I can't hear words. I can't read words. I am going to recite House Hippo. Yes, yes. Wait, I need the picture. I need the picture. This is true Canadian culture right here. It's nighttime in a kitchen just like yours. All is quiet. Where is it? The North American house hippo is found throughout Canada and the eastern United States. House hippos are very timid creatures and are rarely seen, but will defend their territory if provoked. They come out at night in search for food, water, and materials for their nests. The favorite foods of house hippos are chips, raisins, and crumbs from peanut butter on toast. They build their nests in bedroom closets using lost mittens, dryer lint, and bits of string. The nests have to be very soft and warm. House hippos sleep about 16 hours a day. Commercial from Concerned Children's Advertisers. House Hippo is it's a PSA from my childhood that I absolutely love because it's adorable. What do you mean had a house hippo? I still have my house hippo. It's alive and dear. Really, it's none of my business.
I presume that Miss Cooper told you why I'm here, Miss Santos?
What do you mean because it's tasty?
Huh? Oh, yeah. Sorry, I just got back from lunch, you know?
What? No. I'm not adorable. The house hippo is adorable. Because, wait, where's the... I need to get a... Wait, there needs to be a screenshot of the house hippo being in the dog's water bowl. That has to be one of my favorite shots from that commercial. I have priorities, and I'm sorry, but it's not this stream. Oh, okay, this one's cute too. I really like this one when he's in the chip bag. And the kitty is just looking at him. Here, I'll put it up on stream. HQ default. Okay. Showing my beautiful child off. Like, look at him! This is a very blurry screenshot, but it's old. But look at him! He's in a bag of chips! He's just trying to eat! He's having a little snacky! He's having a little snacky! Oh, I love House Hippo. House Hippo for president.
but it won't take too long. Don't worry.
I'm gonna start adding House Hippo into random images and DMing them to you. Thank you. I highly appreciate that. Again? Well, not gonna sugarcoat it. You are a plant. Raffy, what does that mean? Oh, I need the House Hippo picture again. Wait, why am I reciting this again? What? It's nighttime in a kitchen just like yours. All is quiet. Or is it? The North American house hippo is found throughout Canada and eastern United States. House hippos are very timid creatures and are rarely seen, but they will defend their territory if provoked. They come out at night in search for food, water, and materials for their nest. The favorite foods of the house hippos are chips, raisins, and the crumbs from peanut butter on toast. They build their nest in bedroom closets using lost mittens, dryer lint, and bits of string. The nests have to be very soft and warm. House hippos sleep about 16 hours a day. House hippo is indeed a very mysterious creature. Not much is known about the house hippo, but at least we know what snackies it likes. And that's the important bit.
Of course it won't. This whole project has established itself to be a matter done in haste. I do hope it doesn't mean that people are being careless in their duties.
She flinches, and looks like she doesn't quite know how to respond to that. Thankfully, instead of opening her mouth, she leads the way towards her station and goes to fetch the floor plans. New career house hippo naturalist. Yes. It won't take too long, she said, but it does take a bit, and time spent to compose herself, most likely.
You know, we usually just email these things.
I prefer the real thing.
Not that you would know. You probably have your nose stuck in front of a smartphone when you're not working, and even when you should be working, playing those mindless addictive games. I definitely wish Chris would stop playing that Batcat thingy during work hours too. Batcat is a game in this world. It's so cute.
I know what you mean. Digital painting is nice, but nothing beats the smell of real paint. Not that I go and smell paint like a crazy person, but you know, the real thing is different.
Miss Isabella. That could have been taken in such a bad way. Sweetie, do not sniff paint. Wait, what?
Yes, nothing is quite like the real thing.
Checking out the floor plans, I see I'll have a lot going for me. Now I know how Ray felt when he found the Central Park West building floor plans from that one movie. This is why I became an architect in the first place. Jacobean style at its finest. It's a thing of beauty. Look at these gorgeous rooms, the delicate harmony between empty spaces. And speaking of empty spaces, there's something rather odd about these ones.
I feel a bit silly saying it out loud because I've never lived in a big house, let alone a mansion. But during the tour, I had the distinct impression that the rooms were bigger.
Isabella is bad at conversations, I've noticed.
Maybe the scale is wrong? It's not much of a problem. And it is an old house.
There had been little details here and there that I would have liked to address during the open house too. But it was all forgotten in the wake of Miss Santos's incident and the trouble with ownership. The wine cellar is going to be a problem. I shudder to think of what sort of repairs they did to this place. There might have been things that were swept under the rug, pushed to the dark corner of the rooms, and hidden away in barrels. Water damage could have been hovered up. No, it's not growing. It's not. There had been floods due to the heavy rains in West England just last year, after all. And if there's any sort of damage to the house's foundation, that's going to be a lot of work. So, like, if someone burnt you and then you said sorry and gave you a bucket of water, is that equal exchange? No! 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 No, Javen, it's not equal exchange. No! You can drown plants, you know. A bucket of water can kill me just as being burned. Yeah, you can drown plants. Well, give me root rot. Why do you want to kill me? I'm hurt. I'm in pain. Oh, my heart. Are you like a little plant or a big plant? Dude, I'm 145 centimeters. Guess. Yeah, but at least ash is like nutrients for me at the end of the day. Depends on the plant. There are a lot of ferns that are a lot bigger than me. There are lots of different types of ferns. Yes, yes. So is water. Only if you don't give me a lot of it. You can give me all the ash in the world and I'll be fine. Give me too much water and I'll die. I was not able to look at the attic as well. For all I know, a whole family of vermin could have made their nests there. Working with pest control is always the worst. Maybe it's a small bucket. How big is the bucket? Like one's kids take to the beach? The sheer size of this place is staggering, even if I did just say it was a lot smaller than I thought. I'll die of being overwatered, my dude. I might just be biting off more than I can chew, but who doesn't like a good challenge? First things first, I'll have to...
So, do you want a coffee? The one from the staff room is pretty decent.
There's really no need. I'm sure you have rules against it.
I got Eepy. I think you're adorable and this relaxed me. I'm gonna fight you, Frying Pan. Depends if you're a potted fern or an in-the-ground fern. What if it was a cup? Because it's technically a bucket. I think a cup could be fine. I'm potted, Javen. I'm stuck. I'm stuck in one place, okay?
Rules against bringing someone coffee? That's ridiculous. And even if there were regulations against it, nobody's really here to tell Sir John. I've already brought 2 mugs, and I'm not going to drink them on my own. Come on.
There better be if my owners don't want me to die. I have to stamp down my own annoyance at being distracted. What if I put some water into my hands? Is that a bucket? Is that a bucket or is that a cup, Raffi? Asking the true questions. High drainage potting soil. Well draining potting soil. Seeing the girl, the young woman though, it looks like she has a lot in her mind. If babbling is a way of dealing with stray thoughts, I'm not really the one she should be babbling to. Pardon me, I have to blow my nose. I think Kirby could be considered an infinity bucket. I mean, fair. But I want to be nice to Isabella. You have something to say? I'll give her time to speak up. But when she just stares, I clear my throat.
Yes? You have something to say?
As embarrassment creeps up on her face, I snatch one of the coffees from her and take a sip. Do buckets have to be cylindrical? Too hot.
Just thinking and speaking off the record, it must be fun what you do. You go to people's houses and you make them, well, pretty. You're sharing your art with them.
Okay, she's being cute now. Yeah, there can be square buckets. You're right. But what if they have holes? There's a hole in my bucket, dear Liza, dear Liza. There's a hole in my bucket, dear Liza, a hole. Then mend it, dear Georgie, dear Georgie, dear Georgie. Then mend it, dear Georgie, just mend it. It's still 99% bucket.
It's a little bit more complex than that.
Then it's just not a good bucket.
But if you put it that way, it is fun. I wouldn't have done it for 7 years if it wasn't a little bit fun, I guess.
These big clients always have paintings in their homes. Do you have a supplier for art pieces?
I didn't expect to hear such question from her, seeing how well she handled herself yesterday. I didn't doubt then why she was assigned to an important sale like the Ermengarde mansion, despite the little accident she had. What percentage of bucket makes it a bad bucket? Are all buckets bad buckets? Cause like atoms never touch? Technically, buckets have infinite holes. Oh no! Where is this conversation going? Now she just looks too young, too nervous and unsure of herself. Although her enthusiasm must make up for that in spades. Am I a bucket? We hold water. Are plants buckets? In fact, I wouldn't have believed it if she had introduced herself the way she is at the moment. While watching her now, she actually looks like she should still be in college. Yes. He gets so attached to the bucket. Acts a bit like it too when I think about it. I thought she was a teen slumming it out in the mansion when I first saw her there, lying on the ground. Surprise, surprise, she turned out to be one of the estate agents handling the property. I don't even know what to make of the whole meltdown that happened with that strange document. If I were a client, I would have been very upset. She'd be in hot water for it. Plants are buckets, and they have a built-in house.
The clients usually support artists of their own choice. If they don't, I'm always happy to refer those that I know.
That's cool.
Ooh, do you have a favorite?
They're very picky. I don't think a hobbyist will have an easy time getting their work sold.
Hey, I'll have you know I was a student of the fine arts.
And yet, here you are, selling property. Maybe you weren't a very fine student of the arts.
Ouch! Rappy, that's a broken bucket. Maybe I took that a bit too far. She bites her cheek, and it looks like she's barely holding herself back.
It's not like I had a choice.
She mutters it under her breath. I barely even hear it. But the hurt is there. Oh no! Raffy! Raffy, no! And it makes me wonder what brought it on. Although it is understandable, if her reasons what I think it is, very few people make it big in the art world. I can see why she'd be upset about it without enthusiasm. I didn't have a choice when I left Ireland. It was that or years of unemployment. The recession and the toll of it took the construction industry was out of anyone's control. I don't know what choice she wasn't able to make, whether it was about her being at art school or something else. But the world isn't a fair place, and the sooner she accepts it, the better. Still, with that forlorn look on her face, I can't help but sigh. The girl reminds me far too much of myself when I was younger.
Well, if you're thinking of commissioning your paintings, I'll have to see your work first.
Oh, it's not... I didn't mean it like that. I don't have any paintings.
Really? You sounded a lot like you still did art or want to. Now I'm starting to worry that you might just like the smell of paint.
I'm not a paint huffer, sheesh. I just mean I don't make much anymore. I don't really have the time for it. The tools and materials aren't exactly cheap either.
Everything has a price. It sounds like you're making excuses for something you're presumably passionate about. If you really want to practice art, a little out of your wallet isn't much.
That depends, Marianne.
It's not that simple.
It's not? Life's simple. People just like to make it complex. Speaking off the record, I have some advice for you, kid. Either go for what you want, or stop thinking about it when you have something else.
Damn. Fair enough, Marianne. If you have a bucket, then you get another bucket. Place one inside the other. Is it a bucket? Yeah, bucket squared. Hello, Pug. How are you? I've noticed you've been streaming the Valorants recently. How have your games been?
That is unless you enjoy making yourself miserable. Then by all means.
You know, if you wanted to look at the floor plans without me bothering you, you could have just said so.
Oof.
Would you have left me alone?
We'll never know now, will we?
A strained air settles in the room afterwards. Oh, Pug, I'm sorry to hear that. It doesn't help that she doesn't immediately leave as she had said, lingering awkwardly by the door with a downcast expression. It's clear there's more she means to say, perhaps even to defend herself and her choices in life. Or is she expecting me to dish out more of that advice? It's an awkward affair, and I choose to hightail out of the realty office as quick as I can. Not all of them, Rappy, not all of them. Though I am able to keep myself professional at all times does not mean I like it. And seeing that most of the day has already gone by before I realized it, I choose to head back to my flat instead. Despite today being a Saturday. No fun, but at least this way I can definitely avoid another unpleasant encounter. Considering how much I'll be seeing Whiskey in the near unforeseeable future, I have a feeling I'll need the rest of the weekend can give me. No. Big no. I'd rather if you it's better if you duct tape thick magazines to your arms. Yes. Like those paper magazines. For the first time in a long while, excited as I am to work on the mansion, I cannot wait to be over and done with this project. Monday couldn't come any sooner. But Bucket, you can use it as a weapon. Yeah, but it's also very expensive. I'm talking about things people have on hand. After taking the floor plans from Miss Santos the day before the last, I spent most of my Sunday drawing up plans and calling in my suppliers. Although no design choices have been made yet, I'm quite sure that they'd want high-end appliances, the most expensive materials, and the most pretentious everything. You would still get in trouble, Rappy. I'm sorry. They usually do, these rich types, based from experience at least. Given how badly this whole thing started, it wouldn't hurt to be prepared. I have to check myself, make sure I'm not playing with my gloves as one of the other building tenants takes the elevator up with me. It makes me self-conscious when the woman's eyes go over me, and I'm sure she's going to point out some perceived flaw in my physical appearance. Rappy, did you hit someone with a bucket? Oh, Rappy. It makes me self-conscious when the woman's eyes go over me, and I'm sure she was going to point out some perceived flaw in my physical appearance. But I'm saved from being paranoid when they went off a few floors later. Still, the ride up to my floor is nerve-wracking. The Wrights lived at the very top, the penthouse, the creme de la creme when it comes to the condominium and urban living. Just getting access to the place is an ordeal of its own. I had to jump so many hoops, so many security checks, just to secure a key card. Not only because of the building's management, but because of the Wright's personal security. That is very true, Javen. I praise Bucket God. I'm sure there's a Bucket streamer out there. It sometimes felt like I'm being interrogated for a crime and not visiting a client at their home. Even their personal assistant called in to help out and verify my presence. The process is aggravated rather than hastened. Speaking of the devil, Johans! The elevator opens and I'm greeted by none other than Whiskey's not-so-little lackey. Wait, how do you know if a bucket has agreed to being used or not, though?
I do apologize if I kept Mr. and Mrs. Wright waiting. But I'm here now and I'm ready, so if I may, where are they?
They've just woken up, but they should be down soon. I'm surprised to see you made it through security. And only 5 minutes late.
It speaks to you? What does it sound like, Rappy?
You said I'd be through security soon, and it took half an hour. Define soon in this context.
I'd make myself comfortable if I were you. I'm going to go and put the kettle on.
About the tea, I don't want to intrude or anything.
The sir does not like being woken up by the whistling. But who am I to deny tea to a guest?
Do buckets have different accents depending on where they're made? He shows me to the couch before drifting off towards the kitchen, quietly pulling out a teapot, cups, and all sorts of other things in preparation for tea. I ignore the animosity towards his employer that his words implied. I wouldn't be too surprised if Whiskey's own people didn't like him. Accepting the quiet isolation instead, I brace myself for what's to come. But in this case, soon apparently means more than 5 minutes, or even 10. I sit in their living room, just waiting. And when the kettle starts whistling and the tea has been served, I continue to wait. At least the silence is relaxing. But then there's a crash. I nearly spill tea all over my lap in surprise, and I look up, expecting security to come running. Even the man at the kitchen counter continues to fix breakfast like he heard nothing. I don't want to speak up about it because he looks far too absorbed in its cooking, and I don't want to be the cause of burnt food or worse. However, there is something in me that just wants to figure out what that was, although I am normally not this nosy. I don't know, actually. Since Johans didn't check on it, I would assume we're just hearing things. So I think I'll just wait. I have no business with it. These rich people usually value their privacy above all else, after all. Unless, of course, they're posting pictures on social media, bragging about what good people they are for allowing themselves to be interviewed for some magazine. Then again, the whole reason I'm in this mess is because I don't give two shites about what goes on with people like them. And I'm not going to get caught snooping around and accused of some imagined wrongdoing. I'm not going to be some busybody detective wannabe and run off to investigate, whatever that was. Kindness content. It's probably just something mundane anyway, like a lamp falling over. Take your time, Jabin. I'm just going to sit here and wait for Miss Wright, with my tea, in complete silence.
Could I at least put the telly on?
I don't really expect him to answer. If he hadn't heard the crash, I doubt he would have heard.
As long as you don't watch some silly soap opera.
Okay, so he didn't hear it.
The LBC News would be fine. The William Walker show is on too, if you prefer that. Not that I watch it, but my husband does. The remote is under the coffee table.
Oh, sure. Maybe I'll be lucky and catch the doc on.
Ooh, Doctor Who?
I heard they're having reruns of the classics, and I want to see the second meet sixth in Spain. If not, just the news then.
They are talking about Doctor Who.
Thank you. I'll let you get on with your cooking now.
Did he just ignore the crash a while ago then? Whatever. Fetching the remote, I turned the TV on in hopes of filling the silence. Trying to anyway, because the thing won't turn on. And doesn't that make the silence more awkward or what? I know I might not be the best with tech, but I'm sure I can work a simple television remote.
The batteries must be dead.
Is she blonde? What? There's blood everywhere. Help me, it says in red. Oh my god, it's the Heathers! I look at my own hands and find them clean, yet I see my grisly reflection gaping back at me. Yeah, this is a horror game, Pug. And though there is nothing staining my skin, I can feel the sticky and warm feeling of blood dripping down my cheeks. I should be worried. Instead, I feel my attention drawn towards her. Her beautiful blonde hair, her soft lips with skin so fair and swaying hips. I want nothing more than to hold her, plant my lips on her neck, and to run my fingers through her hair. She laughs and smiles when she looks at me, but where are her eyes? Temptation is gone in an instant, and I recoil, horrified at this reflection I am seeing. Only to come back to something, or rather, someone. Miss Wright stands there, twirling a lock of her blonde hair. A soft smile on her lips, and a hand on her hip. Cool, I was going to head out because of Val, but now I'm staying. They have subtle scares here and there, Pug. I think you should just play Val and probably have like this in the background or something. I almost back away, but I grounded myself and reminded myself that this is my client. And whatever I just saw, well, it wouldn't be too far-fetched to say that perhaps I am going a bit daft. It would be preferable, of course, to think if it was all just the trick of the light or the mockings of an overactive imagination.
Good morning, Mrs. Wright. I'm sorry, I didn't see you. Have you been standing there long?
No, I just came down and saw you were having a hard time with the telly. You must have forgotten to change the batteries. Are you all right, dear? You're looking a bit pale. Haven't you had breakfast yet?
No, I'm fine. I had breakfast already, Mrs. Wright. I just need...
Well then, you mustn't have had enough breakfast. I'm all for a good diet, but that's the most important meal of the day. Johans is cooking up pancakes. Pancakes will make anyone feel better, he always says. We can sit down and tuck in.
What are you hinting at, Rappy?
You'll feel right as rain once we get some fluffy, syrupy goodness in you. And are you sure you're fine, Marianne? You're shaking.
Looking down at my hands, I can see them trembling. Really, just because she looks so much like her, I'm becoming a damn train wreck. I've been seeing her in my dreams and hearing her voice ever since I met Miss Wright at the mansion. Yeah, she's talking about pancakes. What else would she be talking about? With so many blondes in the world, what's so different with her? Let's tell her the truth. We're just remembering something.
I just remembered something, that's all. It's nothing to worry about.
Are you sure? I am all ears if there is something bothering you. I don't mind a good story, and I don't want it to affect your work performance.
Gossipy wagon, isn't she? She should just leave you alone. It's not like you need her.
You don't have to worry about that, Mrs. Wright. I say business stays business, and anything else can stay in the doghouse until I'm done with work.
I just have to bear through it, don't I? If I tell her that I'm hearing voices, that'd be a fast track straight to the nut house. What else can I do? Saint Dianfa, help me, lest I become like her father, Damien, insane at the thought of a lost love and mad in the pursuit of another.
Shall we talk about your work then?
If you'd like. It's on your time, after all.
I've been told many good things about you, and I've seen some of your work before. Others speak very highly of your work etiquette.
Rappy, is your mind in the gutter? Do you need a bonk?
Yet I've never heard of you before. Not even a whisper of the McCullough name.
Well, I've only been in Luxbourne for 4 years. Tried to make it big in London for nearly 3 years before. And I've only been working these high-quality projects for the past year.
Thank you, Pug, getting the bonking hammer ready. I stick straight to the point. It's best to be brief when talking to clients, after all. Keep it clean cut as much as possible. At the same time, I have to make it engaging, so it doesn't look like I don't want to talk to them.
I imagine it hasn't been easy. I can't see why you've moved from London to Luxbourne, though.
Job vacancies were fewer at the time, and I had a lot of competition in London. Let's not even talk about the living costs there. But I'm glad I moved here, even if it hadn't been smooth sailing. If I had it easy, I probably wouldn't be working projects like these.
Why even bother explaining to her? She won't understand. She's practically born with a silver spoon in her mouth. The woman could probably snap her fingers and have servants attending to her beck and call.
She does look the part of a spoiled heiress, doesn't she? It would be a relief if she's just that. Something that's different from Miss Wright and her. Before she can get another word in, words that may have proven me wrong or right, she looks up at the loft with a fond expression on her face. With just a simple glance, she can put in so much love that I feel a tad bit jealous of whoever holds it.
Good morning, Luke, darling.
Good morning, ladies. What a wonderful morning it is that I wake up to such a beautiful sight. I do hope you two are getting along. I smell pancakes. I do hope you two are considering a diet just so I can have them all to myself.
Don't be a pig, Luke. You eat all of those and you might stop fitting into your tight suits.
What? I'm not a pig.
He looks so hurt!
You don't think I'm a pig, do you, Marianne?
Yes. With his saucy smile and playful wink, I can't help but think you are a bit of a pig, Whiskey.
I don't know, Mr. Wright. I'm an interior designer, not a zoologist.
Nah, he has some pig-like qualities, but then again, that'd be an insult to pigs.
The only styles she must be familiar with are statement of works.
Well, don't be a bore. You two might not be in a rush, but I'm going to go ahead and feast.
If you dawdle too long, he'll hog all the syrup.
Rich people are so eccentric.
Come on then, we can discuss business over food.
I need din din. There is no denying the clients when they invite me over to the table. Though it is too personal to share a meal in their home, it would be terribly rude to deny their invitation. Welcome back, J-Ben. They're having breakfast and I'm starving. Besides, the pancakes did look and smell heavenly. A bowl of cottage cream, fruits, syrups, jams, and other spreads all laid out next to them, making a colorful arrangement. If this was brunch with friends, I would have gladly helped myself to the whole lot. But as it is, I accepted just a few pieces of pancakes and topped it off with lemon and sugar.
You know, I was a tiny bit serious when I said I wanted a helipad.
And you're not serious about the greenhouse, the vineyard, and the stables?
Well, I do want those too, but I know you'll agree to those.
We're talking about interiors here, honey. You don't handle exterior designs, and whatever handles those sorts of projects do you, Marianne?
I'm able, actually, and willing to take a project of that nature. I was an architect in Ireland before. Of course, that's another contract entirely. I also suggest we finish the house itself before working on any additions to the rest of the property. There won't be any problems about ownership this time, will there? Pardon if I'm crossing a line, but the acquisition was rather quick.
Oh, don't you worry. We've got everything sorted this time around. I've talked to Miss Cooper and Mr. John from BRC, as well as the old owners. Everything has been paid in full, and all we're waiting for is the paperwork from the land registry. They're letting us move in as soon as we please. It's not like they were living there in the first place.
That's good to hear. The problems that could arise from renovating another person's home would be... well, let's not dwell on it.
Yeah, the old owners are alive. That's why the whole, the paperwork was so complicated.
First off, we'll want to know how you want the place to look. It's pretty furnished as is, but I understand if you want to modernize the whole thing.
Actually, I'd prefer to keep the place looking as it is, but at the same time, I want modern appliances. You worked on the Ludgate's Christchurch summer residence. I do remember there being an oven I thought was a simple drawer before. Make them look vintage, antique, blend in with the rest of the decor.
Customize appliances then. I can't find someone for that, and if you can't tell me what you specifically want, it'll hasten up the process. We're talking about electronic appliance manufacturers. If you have a preferred brand to work with.
Splendid! So, what is next on our agenda? All the other interior designers we've hired in the past did not have us this involved.
I stop. What sort of half-baked designer did that? If I knew who they were, I would have words. Yeah, it's the accent. This isn't the time or place for it, however. Instead, I use this brief pause to pull out the floor plans I brought with me.
We'll have to figure out what you want to do with the rooms. Here, we can have a quick run through.
What is that little room next to the master's bedroom?
This? The quarters?
Oh, as far as I could tell when I saw it, it's a second bedroom of sorts. Used, apparently, for the ladies-in-waiting who has served Lady Charlotte Ermengarde, which is strange, as that isn't the norm for these sorts of houses.
Well, we're not stuffing Johans in there. He won't fit.
What?
You don't suppose we could turn it into a walk-in closet and a dressing room?
I love fashion, but do we really need to turn an entire room into a walk-in closet, dear? We'll have large closets and a wardrobe in the bedroom already.
Says the one who takes 3/5 of our closet. Well, what do you suggest we do with it?
I thought a utility room of some sort would be nice. A craft room where I can do fun things.
No, man cave can't be that close to the master bedroom. That needs to be like on the other side of the house. Or underground, where Luke belongs.
Or maybe a children's room might be nice. You know, for when Kylie comes over. Or if Rochelle visits once she's had a baby.
1, you are not inviting that witch. And 2, there's a whole mansion for Kylie to play in. We don't need a children's room, and you don't even do arts and crafts. I'd like to turn the guest's room and the study into my personal office, by the way, if you don't mind.
You can turn it into a personal office if I can have my utility room. It's just the one room of the many. I'm taking that room for myself, no matter what you say, dearie. So you might as well take this deal. You're always out doing business anyway. The real problem is the theater. Whatever are we going to do with all that space?
There's a theater? Okay, there's a music room. More servant quarters. Where's the theater? Oh my god, they have a theater! It's by the guest bedroom.
Fine. We could turn it into our own personal cinema, I suppose. Might as well have it, if you plan on not having a telly in the parlor.
Yes, well, I don't want guests to be glued to the telly when they come over for a meal and some tea.
Well, to be completely fair, I haven't been paying attention entirely to the floor plans, and most of what we've been focusing on when we are in the Ermengarde mansion is the ground floor, not the first floor. So yeah, this is technically our very first time having a good look at the first floor.
By the looks of things, we can keep the rooms as what they are on the ground floor, though. The ballroom would be perfect for parties.
Do we really need a dining hall, though? I don't suppose we can't convert it into a garage.
That's an interesting way to say garage.
What for? You can park your cars outside.
What about that room, right there, in the northwest corner?
Northwest.
That's sleeping quarters for the household help?
Haha! I was right!
Oh, that is perfect! Johans will be glad if we have other staff members who stayed in. It'd be convenient so they don't have to make the trip from Luxborn to the mansion when they're needed.
You'll definitely need a lot more people to maintain a property of this size.
The mansion is really a lot bigger than I thought. Look at all these rooms. I didn't even know there was a music room next to the parlor because of what happened.
There was a grand piano in there too, when we checked during the tour.
Did you hear that, Luke? Maybe you can take up playing the piano again. Oh, you should have seen him when we were younger, Marianne.
It's not like I was very good with the thing.
Draven, thank you for the sunshine. It feels brighter in here already.
Oh, hush you. You were no Mozart, but I loved hearing you play nonetheless. He'd come over to my home and he'd play such fun tunes. He'd sing too and I'd dance and it was just...
Mr. Wright playing the piano? I can't imagine it. Neither can I, honestly. But the earnest way in which Miss Wright said so told otherwise.
Anyway, what do you think of these plans, Marianne?
Are we not even going to consider one of my requests? Not even just a closet or just a garage? Now, that isn't fair, is it? You're not the only one who's going to be living here.
I hardly see how that's unfair. I told you you're getting your office and your theater, the greenhouse, the vineyard, and the stables. That sounds fair, does it not, Marianne?
I'm not choosing sides. We can compromise. I really wish they didn't look at me like that. That is their decision to make. But if they want to ask for a professional's point of view, I'll be happy to give my 2 cents.
You can still have a garage.
See, Marianne agrees with me. Thank you.
I did not want to agree with him.
But the structural integrity of the mansion might be at risk if we try to turn the dining hall or any of the rooms into a garage. Taking down one of the exterior walls might hit one of the support beams. And with a mansion that old, I'd rather not risk it, especially without closer inspection. There's always compromise, of course.
I suppose that's better than nothing.
Oh, Hannah looks mad still.
Better than flat out saying no.
Mrs. Wright does have a point. There's plenty of space for a garage outside of the mansion itself. If you'd like a covered parking space, we can arrange something on the grounds instead.
Then we better go there. I want to see where we can build a garage.
Yes, no time like the present. You want a thorough inspection? Might as well do it now. We actually took another look at the property yesterday, though it was brief. But I'm sure you would want to see it yourself, to spot anything we might have missed.
It's not like I have much of a choice, do I? Riding to the Ermengarde mansion in their rice is an awkward affair. Not only am I worried about scuffing the expensive leather seats, but I'm also worried about getting in the middle of another couple's spat. With the tension thick in the air, I can feel them staring. Wait, starting? Staring? I can feel them starting at each other at any time. Nobody is saying anything. Up until Mr. Wright tells his valet to turn the damn radio off. And for a moment I think he might start. But instead he just stays quiet, and so do the rest of us. In the end, the sufferable silence stays. I have never been so glad to see a house. Stepping out of the car and up to the mansion meant the end of an uncomfortable ride, and I can finally take a deep breath of fresh air. The beauty of the place never fails to make me gaze in wonder every time I see it as well. Miss Wright moves towards the front door, keys in hand, and I can already hear Mr. Wright's plotting.
Alright, Johans, we're going to go in, but I want you to look around the place. Familiarize yourself with it. Know every nook and cranny, every inch of the lot. Go and see where we can put that vineyard and the other things we talked about. We'll want to know where to station security as well, so go around the perimeter and figure it out.
Scout the property and circle the perimeter on foot. You do know this is 46 acres of land, sir.
Well, you are not driving the car over the grass.
Put those long, spidery legs of yours to good use. I didn't hire you to stand around and look intimidating.
Woof.
Go, mush.
Woof! Someday I'd like to ask Johans how Johans can even stand and tolerate the man. Why doesn't he just quit? Certainly the pay can't be that good. Even I'm a bit put off by our mutual employer. The only thing that keeps me from bailing is the fact that we've already signed a contract. Just leave for a bit and pretend you did it. But then you have to, like, explain, like, oh yeah, we can put this there and that there. At least I'll only be working with them during the duration of the project. He works with them every day.
Sometimes I think you hired me to make me suffer for your amusement.
Someday, I'd ask. I feel a bit bad for him. If it's any consolation, he'll be away from Mr. Wright, if only for a little while. We're able to enter the mansion after a bit of standing out there in the sun. Why is the music all ominous? Oh wait, no, it's kind of serene. Never mind. This wretched, strange sunlight that is far too alien and rare. There had been a bit of a problem when the missus not knowing which key is which. The first item on the agenda would be the grand staircase. I keep checking the paintings to see if they change. Fair! It seems sturdy. It seems sturdy during the open house, but closer inspection might say otherwise. There are no obvious marks of damage nor wear and tear, probably threaded during renovations. Peeking under the grand carpet, the wood is properly installed and the bark placed down to prevent cupping. The carpet itself could use a vacuum, though. Structural conditions, from what I can see without actually dismantling the thing, look to be in good shape, and the handrails and supports are firm. The work on it should be commended. I can't look much more than into the rest of the foyer. However, because Mr. Wright starts to hurry us into checking the dining hall.
So, what do you think? Certainly we can't turn this area into a garage.
Where will you eat if you move the dining hall?
It's Jacobean architecture. I'd say these would be pilasters and not buttresses, but you never really know. They really liked mixing up these elements. You could say it was pretty avant-garde at the time. We might hit a support beam if we're not careful.
And in layman's terms?
From what I see here, we could risk great damage to the house if we try to turn the dining hall into a garage.
The man didn't look too pleased at this. There's a look of disappointment before he sighs and looks around the place with an air of defeat. When he moves to speak, I dread another unreasonable demand. again.
This will stay a dining hall then. But if I may have another request instead, at least spruce the place up with some flowers, some plants, or something. It feels so old and dead in here.
That's hardly unreasonable. Daffodils are a must, I presume.
The look that passes between the two of them, there is a genuine look of fondness there. This is the first time I've seen such an exchange between the two of them. If anyone ought to see them like this, there is little doubt that they loved each other.
Of course. And I want a garden full of them.
Holy shit, Luke's voice was actually pleasant to my ears for once. What?
Now, if you excuse me, I'd like to look at the rest of the house. I'll just be around here downstairs if anybody needs me.
For only one line, and one line only? That didn't hurt my ears. What is happening? Okay, I wasn't the only one. Holy. Okay, noted. I like it when Luke talks about flowers. That leaves Miss Wright and I.
He's quite fond of them, you know.
I can imagine. He looked terribly upset when we told him he can't have his garage.
I meant the daffodils. We always have a vase full of them in every house we own.
The only acceptable
Somewhere.
the only acceptable thing Luke can say. True.
I'd like to think they may be about his mother. He never talks about her. I don't even know her name. He likes to flatter, claim that they remind him of me, but he's always loved the flowers, even before we married.
Oh, he was a mama's boy. Much like the piano, I didn't take him for a person who liked flowers. Daffodils, least of all. What's next? Am I going to find out that Mr. Wright saves kittens from burning buildings?
I'll go and snoop about upstairs. You go and do whatever it is that you have to do.
When she goes without even asking if I need her here, I'm left standing to stare at the walls. Really, I don't need to do a thorough inspection of the building itself. It isn't really part of an interior designer's job. But the architect in me is committed to doing this task with every project. If I'm going to make a living space that has both form and function, I might as well make sure that the entirety of it is safe for my clients. Since I'm already here, I roam around the dining hall to check things off my punch list, if you will. But it's time to move on. But when it's time to move on, I hesitate. Mr. Wright said he would be somewhere around here on the ground floor, and I really don't want to be alone with Whiskey. I have to look through the place eventually, sure, but on the other hand, I can do it later when he's gone. I can go upstairs first if I want to. Ooh. Okay. I think this is actually the perfect place to stop. We have hit the 3-hour mark and we are either... She appears either way. She appears either way. To be completely fair, J-Ben. The ghosty goo doesn't care where you are. She will follow you. We've mostly seen her on the ground floor, though, but that's because that's where we've usually been hanging out. But the first time we did ever see her was the first floor in the attic. Well, in the attic, not the first floor. But yeah! That's it for me. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, night, morning, evening, wherever you are. Hopefully tomorrow we'll see whether we check out the ground floor or the first floor. I vote the first floor because I do not want to talk to Luke. Thank you. I hope you guys have dinner, because that is certainly what I'm gonna do. Wow. But yeah, I'll probably be busy tomorrow, but I'll watch the VOD. Fair enough, Legibant. Please take care. But yeah, that's it for me. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, night, morning, wherever you are, and